the Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
E3 is right around the corner, you guys. It starts this weekend. I hope you're ready for all of our coverage because we're going to be streaming Saturday and Sunday and Monday and also Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be a whole thing. I hope you're very, very excited. This is sometimes the most hopeful, optimistic time of the year. When you get like all the vertical slices and the beautiful trailers, not the broken parts of the games that come out.
Not the broken promises when they come to us. Yeah, so this is definitely the time where developers, they show off their latest and greatest stuff and stuff that's going to come out in like 5 years. And
yeah, sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that includes games that are in development that may or not be coming soon.
Right. So with all that in mind, we thought we would list the games that we're most looking forward to seeing more of at E3 that we hope do not disappoint us.
Yeah, so first off is CYBERPUNK 2077. This was probably the most anticipated game in a long time.
For a lot of people, I think. If you've been waiting since The Witcher came out, this is a big one.
Yeah, CYBERPUNK 2077 is the next game from CD Projekt Red, who, of course, they made the Witcher franchise.
Right.
It's a fantastic game that I've not finished because it's giant and I don't know how to finish it.
Well, so CYBERPUNK 2077 is a little bit of a tonal shift. It's set in a dark future of when else 2077.
Witcher could be in the future. We don't know.
Yes. or a long time ago. But in CYBERPUNK, it's life in the metropolis of Night City, and it's kind of become this dystopian reality. Technology has been both a blessing and a curse. According to CD Projekt Red, it's going to have some sandbox elements along with some form of multiplayer that may come in post-launch. The developers also stressed the game is a true RPG, not a multiplayer shooter, and we know that they're going to be at E3. We don't know at what scale, but everyone's expecting to learn more about CYBERPUNK then. Is this on your radar?
It's on my radar. This is one of those games that's on my radar because of the developer. There's like certain developers I'm interested in what you guys can make because I see you guys can make amazing things. That being said, I need CD Projekt Red to take a step back from how like in-depth a game like Witcher 3 is and give me something that's a little bit more accessible. All the elements of this tick my boxes. Sandbox, RPG, dystopian, future, it's like, yes. But make it like, so I know how to play this thing. I have downloaded Witcher 3 like 5 times now and then just given up after like a few hours each time. So I want to play this one though.
You heard it here first. John's a casual.
I'm just an idiot.
All right, next game on the list, Anthem. Now this one, I want to know a lot more about this. Kind of a no-brainer. A big part of it because the stakes are pretty high for BioWare. After the flop that was Mass Effect Andromeda, that developer is reportedly pouring a ton of resources and stuff into this game.
Yeah, the new sci-fi IP from BioWare will be a shared open-world game similar to Destiny and The Division, and gamers will play as freelancers who explore the harsh environment beyond a massive wall that's protecting civilization.
And there's a lot of people who are concerned about this for good reason.
There's a lot of concern about this game.
Well, one, because the last game BioWare put out didn't please a lot of fans.
Any?
No, you know what? That's not true. Some people really did enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda. And I think it's like, if you enjoy it, that's great. But it didn't do nearly what everyone hoped it was going to do.
Yeah.
This is also a huge shift in that it's one of those persistent online games, a la Destiny, all of the Division, where it all takes place with other people around, where a lot of what BioWare has been known for in the past has been really strong single-player focused games. So this is a pretty big departure.
I think there's a lot of concern about it being that Destiny-like game because there's always that ground of like, I think there's even talk about like, will what they, show off at E3 and these trailers be what exists actually in the game? Will there be loot boxes that'll be like a pay-to-win kind of thing? There's a lot of like, people are worried about this game.
Well, especially with EA as a publisher.
Yes, that's what it was.
That's the big worry now.
It was like when Battlefront came out, everyone looked at EA and then looked at EA over Anthem and were like, Anthem's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, so there are concerns, but
it looks pretty.
BioWare's promising that they've got some really cool stuff planned.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they have. I want to know more. I want this game to be good. I want it to do well.
The aesthetic is awesome.
Right. Next up, speaking of awesome aesthetics, Spider-Man PS4. Sony's expected to show off the much-anticipated Spider-Man game that's coming from Insomniac Games. It's due out later this year. It looks absolutely stunning from everything that we've seen so far. It's going to show off an adult Peter Parker who's an experienced crime fighter at this point, facing off against Mr. Negative and Kingpin.
Yeah, there were also some hints at more villains like Shocker, Rhino, Scorpion, Taskmaster, and Vulture, and Black Cat will be star of the game's first DLC.
Yeah, this is a... Look, I don't think it's any exaggeration to say this is the best-looking Spider-Man game ever, given how great all the Marvel movies have been lately. It's going to be cool to see how Insomniac handles the character. I think there's a lot of interest from people in Spider-Man, in what they do with it. I really loved what Insomniac did with Sunset Overdrive, and this looks like they're taking a lot of similar bones and then mushing it with Spider-Man, which is a great combination.
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive was so great.
Every piece of marketing material they've released thus far has just been awesome, which is, as long as the game works, because that's just always a concern with these games. Like, as long as there's like some sort of weird frame rate problem when you like swing too high up into the city and that kind of thing, it's got to render all of New York, and it's like, nope, can't do. As long as that's all fine, like it looks the way it looks in the marketing, like I'm 100% playing this game day one.
Well, and Insomniac's got a pretty good track record for performance, so feeling pretty good about that. Next on the list, Battlefield 5. Of course, Battlefield 5 is going to make an appearance at E3. It's going to give us more World War II action, a lot more details. Developer DICE already showed off a lot of the game at a reveal event, but we're expecting to get a good look at the game's multiplayer in particular at E3. There's also expected to be a number of new modes to the game, so that should be fun to learn about as well. So,
yeah, it's been like teasy so far. I really haven't got a ton of like I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of like actual hardcore details about the game.
Yeah, we know that it's World War II. That the story mode is going to be vignettes, kind of like they were in Battlefield 1. We know they're planning on doing a couple of different modes as well. One where you say you and a team parachute in and face off against another team who's defending.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of cool stuff they want to do with that. There's been concern over the reveal as well. People saying that it just doesn't look Battlefieldy, like they went too much into the crazy Battlefield moments that you get when someone drops out of a plane and then shoots down a helicopter and then drops back into the plane, instead of pretending to take it serious and letting other people make it Battlefieldy.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I
If
think
they show off some cool modes, I think that'll be key.
Yeah, these franchises, like, I think they run like a problem either way. Either they keep doing what they were doing and keep their hardcore fans happy, or they show off something that's different or weird or out there, and then, you know, they upset those hardcore fans, but they're trying to get a whole new... The point of these franchises is to keep those who are playing them, and then find new people interested in something new that they're showing off. So I for one would prefer to see just it go like all out, just be weird, and don't worry about being so true to history or to like how it's supposed to work. Like, go do the crazy thing. Like, the best part of Battlefield was seeing those clips of guys like turning their airplanes upside down, flying out, making a kill, and then somehow landing back in the air. Like, I want to see that. That's what I want to see. Overwatch in World War II. That's what I want.
Okay, never ever let John near design team.
I could have some good ideas.
Okay, next up, The Division 2. Ubisoft's confirmed it is going to be showing off the sequel to 2016's shared world shooter. That's confirmed for E3. We don't know a lot about the game other than it uses the Snowdrop engine, so yeah, details are pretty thin on the ground. Some are thinking it might be set in the same post-pandemic New York City as the first game. Look, The Division was a really fun multiplayer experience, and it did a really good job, I thought, of it came out, it didn't have a super strong launch. It fell off pretty quickly, but they continued to support it, they continued to add to it, they continued to revise, and it's gone on to be a huge hit. So I'm really, really interested to see what they have learned from that process with The Division, because if The Division 2 can come out and have a strong launch just from the get-go, I think that's great for them. This
is one of those games that, like, if you can somehow grab the interest of all the gamers that then all start playing this together, you know, everyone starts playing PUBG together, everyone starts playing Fortnite together. Like, if you can get everyone to jump into the game, then you're good. Division 1 didn't do that very well. Some people played it, some people didn't. Like, it looked cool, but it just didn't grab all the gamers to jump in. But it ticks the boxes of all these games, of all these game types I like. So I hope Division 2 has something that grabs people's attention and gets everybody, so I can get all of my friends playing Division together. Because otherwise, there's no point in playing the game unless you can get all your buddies going.
Yeah, it successfully fought the uphill battle, but if it can get that rolling momentum, that would be great for it. Speaking of another game I really want to get some sweet momentum, also a Ubisoft game, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Look, this is the sequel to a 2003 game.
They've taken some time.
It was a huge surprise. Well, it's been a big surprise at a couple of E3s now, but in particular last year's E3 where they showed off a little bit about it. Recently, Ubisoft gave us an updated look at the progress in the game. We finally saw some melee combat along with ship navigation. We also got to see some sword fighting along with Shani swinging her staff around. The developers have said the game has a heavy element of player choice, and since it is a prequel, it's a sequel, but it's a prequel to the original 2003 game. You can jump right in even if you never played the first one. And the team at Ubisoft Montpellier said they're holding back some additional surprises for E3. So I'm excited for that one. I loved the first game so much. And then they announced the sequel, and then crickets. and clearly went back to the drawing board.
They did the E3 thing.
Yeah. So if we're seeing it, if this is like finally like gonna get out there, I can't wait.
Yeah. I hope it's good for you.
Thank you. It's good for me. It's good for you.
Yeah. Let's talk about Black Ops 4. It's the latest Call of Duty game. It's Black Ops 4 from developer Treyarch. And the big news this one is that they're getting into the Battle Royale genre.
Not a surprise, but still.
Yeah, with their own version. It's called Blackout. We don't know much about it yet, only that it'll take place in the biggest Call of Duty map ever, and also include ground, air, and sea vehicles and elements from, a bunch of their other games and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Treyarch also added that Blackout's going to draw from the history of Black Ops, and it'll include a lot of content from previous games, so weapons, equipment, gadgets. Even the map is going to be a nod to previous Black Ops maps, so it seems like they might hodgepodge a whole bunch of stuff together. Hey, worked for Fortnite. They also hinted the playable characters in Blackout might be divided into different classes, which would allow a variety of different gameplay, and that's also new. You haven't seen a Battle Royale game that's done this sort of class approach yet.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Of course, the game will have a ton of different modes, and it'll be cool to learn, more about all of them at E3 and see what they do to, actually stand out amongst the other Battle Royales, unless they think they can just kind of pivot their already, Call of Duty fan base just into the fervor of the Battle Royale genre. I'm not sure.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on this as well. If they're going to do this instead of doing a campaign, it needs to be absolutely spectacular. So pressure's on. Interested to see what they have to say. Mm-hmm. Next up, Skull and Bones. Ubisoft is expected to show off Skull and Bones, which is it's a pirate combat game, kind of a spin-off of the naval warfare we saw in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Features crews of up to 6 people hunting for treasure and, of course, battling each other in multiplayer fights. The game has been delayed until at least next year, so it's not coming out immediately, but we're hoping to get a more in-depth look at what they have planned. We've seen this and Sea of Thieves sort of side by side at a couple E3s now. Mm-hmm. Now Sea of Thieves is out, so it's all Skull and Bones, and I'm interested to see what they have to say based on the feedback we got from the Sea of Thieves launch. With people saying they wanted more content, they wanted more of all these different things. If Skull and Bones takes the opportunity to sort of learn from that.
That'd be kind of nice if they took the chance to learn what made Sea of Thieves so passable and forgettable and built upon that to actually create with the game that everyone who likes this idea that they want in the first place. We want to be pirates. We want to be pirates with all of our friends on a ship. Now just give us a game that's deep enough that we can play it for a while.
Right, exactly. So, fingers crossed. Next, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I'm pretty excited about. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is scheduled to release in September. A new trailer showed some dark times for Lara Croft. She's not doing well, much more of a brooding character in this game, doing battle with a scary-looking masked dude and his henchmen. The trailer also shows her going full Rambo, while also climbing things and waxing nostalgic about her past. Looks like, for sure, a darker take on the franchise, but also kind of cool, full of adventure. This could be the Empire Strikes Back of the Tomb Raider, or this could be, oh god, what was there was the sequel to Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
There was a sequel to Sands of Time?
2 of them, yeah. It was a trilogy, and in the second one, the prince got super emo. Oh. And he was listening to rock music, and he had, his hair all long. He was really, rocking the guy liner.
Are you talking about a movie or a game?
No, this is a game.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant there was a sequel to the Jake Gyllenhaal film.
Further proof that John's a casual. Come on.
Not a casual. It's just the most recent Prince of Persia thing has been the movie, okay? So I went to the most recent release, okay? I'm excited about Tomb Raider 2.
So, we'll see. I'm hoping it's more the Empire, less of the Prince of Persia sequel.
Less Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima. This one is kind of an unusual one. It's an open-world action samurai game. It's coming from developer Sucker Punch, and it's one of Sony's much vaunted lineups of exclusives. This game set on the island of Tsushima during the Mongol invasions of Japan in 1294. So you play as a lone samurai turned assassin who might be trying to kick the Mongols out of Japan. It looks absolutely stunning, for one, and we don't know a lot about it. But Sony's been doing a great job with their exclusives so far, and that alone has my attention. Also, Sucker Punch.
Yeah, it's a Sony exclusive. Again, you know, they're doing so good with all of those, and I love that it is. It sounds like a little something new, and I applaud that. That's what they basically do with these exclusives. Is it's like they don't. It's not a lot of them trying to redo what already has been done. It's them creating a brand new world and brand new characters that we'll fall in love with and beautiful looking worlds that we'll do. And so who doesn't want to like be a samurai in your own environment fighting Mongols in a beautiful game? So I'm very curious about that one.
Yeah, well, it's also a setting that doesn't get a lot of play.
That's what I mean.
And so like that just in and of itself will be like really unique and will set it apart from the other games. Maybe slightly less unique, but also really exciting for a lot of people. Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we've seen several times before. But Switch owners everywhere are going to be really excited about this one because the latest Smash Brothers game is going to feature the Inklings as playable characters, and if you love Splatoon, I did. That's going to be really fun. Rumor has it the infamous Metroid boss Ridley may be in there, as well as Simon Belmont from Castlevania. If both of those are in there, that would be incredible. Nintendo's also confirmed Smash Brothers won't only be shown during the Direct, it's going to be playable on the show floor. So it's very far into development, and I mean, it's Smash. Of course we're going to want to play it. It's going to be huge. It's going to sell tons of Switches.
There probably won't be a lot of people on the floor just making huge lines to try to play this game.
No, there definitely won't.
So let's talk about Last of Us 2. It's another one of Sony's Big Four exclusives, and it's a sequel to the 2013 masterpiece. The Last of Us 2 turned a lot of heads after like a really violent trailer was released.
So over the top.
There was no gameplay. It was just like, here's some violence for you.
Look how bad everything is.
And so we know that it's going to feature a grown-up Ellie and an older Joel, but this game, it definitely seems to revolve more around Ellie, who is shown saying that she's going to find and kill every last one of them, whoever they are. But given how great the first game was, definitely want to learn more, want to see some gameplay action of this, since we've seen mostly like...
A lot of it's been really conceptual.
It's been conceptual and cinematic pieces, and so I want to see like... I want to see... playing Ellie, moving through the world, how that all looks like, you know, given that it's been years since the other one came out. Like, what have you guys done to advance from there?
Well, yeah, and like, how has the world changed?
Yeah.
What kinds of challenges are you dealing with now? So many possibilities. Also, Kingdom Hearts 3, the long-awaited next mainline Kingdom Hearts game, is scheduled to release later this year. I keep checking the date, and it keeps staying at 2018.
It probably will.
I can't wait to see what Square Enix is showing off if it is that close to release. We recently got a look at the Toy Story level as well as Mount Olympus from Hercules. There's obviously a lot more ground that they can cover. Square Enix has indicated they're gonna show off more at E3, hopefully unveil some worlds that we don't know for sure are coming. I'm excited. It's been so long, you guys. I'm back to playing through now basically all of the Kingdom Hearts games because there's so much territory to cover before this one comes out. So
I don't even play this series, but I'm just even rooting for the fans to finally get this stupid game out.
So we shut up?
No, just like I feel bad at this point. It's no longer funny that like it just like give it the game, okay?
I remember it was E3 2013 when it was announced. It was this whole wall in the Square Enix booth, and I stood in front of the wall watching the sort of announcement teaser, just so happy. And
soon I'll play this game.
And here we are. So
I want to talk about Fallout 76.
We all want to talk about Fallout 76.
Yeah. So Bethesda, they just announced Fallout 76 with the teaser trailer, and there's still like a ton we don't know.
Like everything.
Yeah, basically, other than like he has a 7 and a 6 on the back of his uniform. There have been reports that it's less a traditional Bethesda RPG and more of an online base building game. So hoping that they'll clear things up at E3 with a little more detail, since they just kind of teased it out there so far.
Yeah, rumors are that it could be that sort of online survival genre, like Ark or like
7 Days to
Rust,
Die.
or like that kind of game. So really curious to see what they do if they're taking that and combining it with base building. Could be a lot of fun. There's a rumor as well based on a retail listing that was posted and then pulled that it could be coming out July 6th, which would be 7/6.
Oh, that's super smart.
Which would be not quite the mic drop of Fallout Shelter, but still pretty mic droppy.
Yeah.
If they can be like, and it's out in like 3 weeks.
I mean, that would be nuts.
That would be great.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes.
You know, we've talked about it's the newest Assassin's Creed game. It'll be taking us to ancient Greece. And Ubisoft just recently revealed the game's existence with a short clip that seemed inspired by the movie 300.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a dude kicking a dude off a cliff.
Inspired's a nice word instead of ripped off from the movie 300. Assassin's Creed Origins, that was a lot of fun, and this game is supposed to be a sequel to it. So hopefully Ubisoft will tell us a lot more about what they've got planned, give us some visuals. I've heard the rumors of like the mythological creatures that might be involved.
Which would be interesting for...
Considering this is supposed to be based in history, that would be very interesting.
Maybe they were all real until the assassin got to them.
The assassins made the unicorns and griffins extinct.
Yep. It was a very, very busy time.
Okay. Yeah, you remember the unicorns in Odyssey? I remember that book.
Moving on to Death Stranding. This is going to be easily one of the most anticipated games that we could be seeing, given the reputation of Hideo Kojima, along with the fact that Death Stranding is going to be the first game from his new studio after he and Konami had that messy breakup. The trailers for Death Stranding have so far been famously weird.
That's an understatement.
Difficult to understand. Even the actors in the game say they don't know what's going on. The only person who knows what this game is about is Hideo Kojima. Hopefully he'll shed a little bit more light on it at E3 so that we also know, but it's also Kojima, so let's not count on knowing what's going on even after we finish playing the game.
I'm putting money down that this is all just an art piece, and it's just Kojima seeing how long he can tease a game until people stop losing interest, and that's going to be, and then that's when he'll end the art piece. It's not actually a game.
I'm so interested in this.
It's just an excuse for him to hang out with his BFF Mads Mikkelsen. Which I am all for.
Their relationship is just a beautiful thing.
If we don't get a game out of this, we at least got that beautiful a little boy romance.
All right. So those are some of the top games we're looking forward to at E3. There is a lot more than that that's going to be coming. And Pokemon Let's Go, just for starters.
Yep.
You know what, I'm not going to start going down the list because then we will never, ever end the list. But let us know what you're looking forward to during E3 in the comments, what you hope to see on our live show. If you're planning on being at the show in LA, all those things in the comments, please.
Yeah, and for all of your E3 news, because we'll definitely be there.
In such a huge way. We are going to flood your subscription boxes, but I mean that in a good way.
So like this video and subscribe to the know. I must have slept through it.
Okay.
That's impressive. It was very, very, very loud.
I'm impressive in bed for all the wrong reasons.
Was that rolling?
Oh, yes. Of course.
Perfect.